up there, YouTubers, Reefers? Welcome back to another episode of Dreaming Reef. So, as you can see from the introduction video today, we are going to talk about another genus of Wrasses, which is your Cirrhilabrus family, also known as the fairy wrasse. So, I've just gotten one of my favorite fairy wrasses from Abing, which is the Rosy scale fairy wrasse, the Cirrhilabrus rubrisquamis. So, it's one of the prettiest wrasse among the fairy wrasse family that I personally feel, because of that pink, the yellow, that purple in between them. It's just an eye stopper in your display. So I've been sharing you guys a lot about wrasses for the past couple of episodes, so I was thinking to why not just carry on and talk to you guys a little bit on fairy wrasses. So aside from the Rosy scale itself, I've gotten the Exquisite wrasse as well. So Exquisite wrasse, it's a wrasse that is very interesting. It came from a wide range of region, and they have the Pacific variant, which is slightly more green, and they also have the Indian Ocean variant, which is slightly more red. And in between there, they have a couple more different types that come from that specific area, like from Maldives, from Sri Lanka, from Africa. So really depending on where you get your exquisite from, they will actually have a little bit of difference in their coloration. So we'll talk a bit more about fairy wrasses itself and why they are a must to have in your aquarium. So fairy wrasses itself don't really get that big. They usually only stay within a good size of probably about 3 to 4 inches, if I'm not wrong. So, and their price range, it's really very wide. So compared to other fishes wise, you get fairy wrasses in their one particular genus, right? You get them from all over the world. So you have fairy wrasses as cheap in Singapore that can actually go for like less than 20 bucks, all the way up to the most expensive fairy wrasse that I've seen so far. It's the Cirrhilabrus sanguinis, also commonly known as the blood-stained fairy wrasse. If I'm not wrong, the last time one appeared, it's in the $10,000 range. I can't remember how much was it sold for, but I remember it was about 5 digit. So for wrasses collectors out there, the fairy wrasse family actually has a very wide range for you guys to collect from. And they also come in a couple of different groups. You have a couple of fairy wrasses that is clustered into one family. You have another fairy wrasses that is clustered in another family. So they are pretty interesting. They have very interesting behavior. And today in my video for fairy wrasses, I will be sharing with you guys a couple of tips that you guys will want to know before you actually acquire a fairy wrasse. So I've always very into fishes that are hermaphrodites, so meaning that they change sex, and wrasses are one of them, which are the sequential hermaphrodites, which they change from when they are young. They are mainly females, and then as they get older, the dominant one will change to male. So what really interests me with wrasses is whenever they change to male, not only they just change to male, but their colors do change as well. So this goes to most of your wrasse genus. And fairy wrasses themselves, right, with the name, they actually have very nice fins on them. They are very showy pieces, and they are always out to show off. So they have one of the nicest, brightest, and a huge array of different types of colors that you guys can see. Fairy wrasses are fairly easy to feed. These guys, they're probably very hardy. I would say I've never really seen a fairy wrasse that really gives a lot of challenge. Most of the time, after a day or two, they started eating very well. Like you can see over here, the two wrasses that I've got, this is just a day after. The Exquisite just goes crazy. Exquisite by far is one of the hardiest fairy wrasse to get. The Rosy scale is still a bit shy, but after the second day, the third day, it actually came out and joined the group to eat. So fairy wrasses are, from what I say, very hardy. They are very affordable. You can go for a lot of different options. You can actually try one that is fairly cheap, and if you want to up your game a bit, you can actually source for the couple of more expensive ones. They can actually go from like $80 to about $100 to even up to about $1,000. So really depending on which fairy rest really catches your eye and the color that you guys want, you guys can actually have a huge variety and a huge color palette for you guys to choose from. So like I mentioned earlier with the leopard rest, so the fairy rest itself, it's a hit or a miss. Some people say they really need a sand bait, but then some say they do not require a sand bait compared to your other genus like your Helicularis and your leopard rest genus. So from my understanding, I usually notice that fairy rest actually likes to sleep in crevices. So I have a lot of experience with them. I've been having them for many years, and I notice that I always see my fairy rest, when it's sleeping time, they usually end up hiding in rocks instead of burrowing into the sand like the other genus of rest. So one thing to take note when you keep rest, right, it's you always need a lot of hiding spots. So my tank is built where I have a lot of little small caves, a little small holes, there's a lot of swim throughs, and very importantly, you need to have a lot of shade, because as they get a bit panicky, the first thing they will do is they will bolt in to places to keep them secure. So if you're going to keep them in a very open scape, chances are they will freak out, or what happens to most wrestlers is they will jump. So wrestlers, as you guys know, they are famous jumpers. So if you're going to keep them in a very open scape with not much place for them to dart in, chances are they will dart straight to your glass, they will go straight up, and they will jump straight out of your tank. Then next thing we'll talk about is feeding. So feeding your fairy rest family is not that hard. These guys are very responsive to wet feed. They are quite okay with frozen food. I get mine usually feed on with myces, with brine shrimp, and as time goes by, fairy resters actually do take pellets as well. They are very communal fish. They tend to hang out with all the other kind of fishes that you will have. They are not very aggressive to other species, but then they are pretty aggressive to their own species. So if you have a smaller tank, for example like a nano or even to a 2 feet tank, you will not want to try to keep that many different types of rest in that system, because chances are is once all of them get mature, right, one of them will turn into a super alpha, and what they gotta do is it will always constantly chase the rest. So you will have issues with your other resters getting picked on, and if it gets a lot worse, they usually will pick until the least dominant one actually dies off, and it will just keeps on picking until it's either left with him or a pair. So we'll talk a bit about selecting them and about how many resters will be a good size for your tank itself. So for people who have a nano tank, so I'm talking about like your 10-gallon cube all the way up to your 14 to your 20-gallon. So they are pretty small fish. They are quite good size. So I'll recommend, if you guys want to, pick one pair that you guys really like. So for example, for me itself, I will always have something for the Rosy scale. For a small 10-gallon nano, I would want to go for a pair of Rosy scale, and that's it. So once they pair up, right, it's pretty interesting to see them staying together, and if they ever get to spawn, you will see your male rest go into their nectar coloration. So for you guys who really have no idea what is it about, so wrestlers, when they get into courtship, the males get very excited. They will show very intense color apart from their male alpha coloration, which is a very good thing to see, and it's a short opportunity for you guys to take out your phone and actually video it down. So we'll talk about the people who actually have a larger system. So I'm talking about like 3-4 feet to even 5 or 6 feet and above. So that's where you can actually keep a lot more different type of wrestlers. So a good thing to take note is, as long as your scape has a couple of different places for them to run in and out and hide here and there, it's actually pretty comfortable to keep up to about more than 5 to 6 different types of them. I am currently running a 5 feet tank, and I have 2 fairy rests, 2 leopard rests, 2 two Cirrhilabrus Wrasse, and they do fight once in a while, usually occasionally due to food, but then most of the time they all have their space to swim around. So once you keep the tank fairly busy, chances are that you disperse that aggression among them and you won't really see them actually picking up on one particular fish. So over here you do see I have my Rosy scale. So chances are that this is a male. I don't really want to get a female for him because I'm actually contemplating of getting a couple more different Wrasses to fit in. So having a female in is just going to be an extra redundant piece that eventually I may not like. But if it's just them, I would rather get a pair. But then if it's a community style, I will actually just want the male itself. The male is the one with that intense coloration that you see over here, that very nice pink body, and then it goes down with the yellow, and that purple fin is just a showpiece. So we've talked about the fairy Wrasse itself. So next up, the next video that I will be giving you guys, it's a very special fairy Wrasse. This Wrasse has only been documented or only been discovered 2 years ago, and hopefully I can get my hands on one and get it stable and get it feeding, and I will give you guys an update on that particular fish probably by next week. So I actually did share out my channel to a lot of you guys out there in the forums on Facebook, and I received a lot of good response from every single one of you. So the end part of the video, actually I wanted to use this time to thank all of you for your support, regardless if you are a Singapore reefer or you are someone from overseas actually watching the video itself. So I do see quite a lot numbers of subscription that actually subscribe to my channel, and subsequently for the next couple of months, I will actually be working with a lot more LFSs. I'll be doing with a lot of LFS tour. I will be doing a lot of giveaways for my fellow local reefers. So before I end this video, right, this is one thing that it's mainly for my local reefers as a gratitude for you guys for all the support that you have gave me. So if you are watching this video and you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Once I hit up to 50 subscribers for the channel itself, I will be showing you guys my first 50 giveaway for you guys, and I will give you guys a sneak peek on what I will be giving you guys for the 50 subscriber giveaway. Alright, so if you guys are watching the video, you guys are from Singapore and you guys have not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and once we hit 50, the next upcoming video I'll be sharing you guys that very special Wrasse. I will share with you guys on the 50 subscriber giveaways, and I will pick a lucky winner from the 50 subscribers, and I will announce it on the next upcoming video who will the winner be. So stay tuned, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.